The markets are melting down, everybody's freaking out, but why are we remaining so unbelievably calm? If you know the game, you won't get played. You have to understand things like this and what is actually happening. And you need to understand to pull yourself to a 30,000 foot overview. The issue with the cryptocurrency industry is all the hype, the get rich quick, the price predictions, and people don't truly understand macro and microeconomics and the massive transformational change happening in our economic system. China may approve their own stablecoin backed by the yuan. Now, why would they do this? Why would Wyoming create their own stablecoin that's approved now? Why did America create the Genius Act? Let's look at the facts, figures, numbers, logic. Guys, nobody wants US bonds. Do you remember when they did the bond auction and nobody showed up? Since 2009, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa has been working to de-dollarize from the West. Bitcoin was created in 2009. Interesting, right? After the biggest financial collapse in American history. We are not educated on what inflation actually is. It's not that things are getting more expensive, it's that the erosion of your buying power of the dollar keeps happening. My parents bought their house in 1973 for $25,000. It's now worth, I think, about $430,000. If they sold that house, they couldn't even buy a comparable house. It's not that they made all that money, it's the erosion of their buying power. But we're not taught this. So America created the Genius Act. They're going to tokenize all treasuries. China's going to make a stable coin. Every country's going to make a stable coin. And Trump told you we're going to be on an even playing field monetarily 7 years ago. He was sitting in front of a bunch of the countries. He said we're going to be on an even playing field. And he was talking about a digital way. And now he's making America the crypto capital of the world. The Trump family is the number 8 holder in their Bitcoin treasury and Bitcoin treasury companies. He has his own DeFi platform, World Liberty Financial. Trump and his family are getting set up outside of the centralized system. They're putting tons of pressure on the Federal Reserve that's not federal nor are they reserve. The Genius Act passed, which is going to tokenize all treasuries, and we're going to have an American stable market, stable dollar, stable coin. You're going to see states, countries, banks create their own stable coin. And those of us who are investing in cryptocurrency strategically will be some of the wealthiest families in the world. If crypto wouldn't have came in, stable coins wouldn't have came in, the US dollar would have completely collapsed. You have more debt than we have income. If you don't beat inflation every single year, you become poor. So that's why I transmute my cash, which is absolute trash, into deflationary assets like XRP and Bitcoin that have fixed supplies. That's why when cash hits my bank account, on top of debts and non-negotiables and bills that I pay in fiat, cash, I transmute it into something that's going to create cash flow, cash generating dividends, or I transmute it into something that has a fixed supply like Bitcoin, XRP, or I transmute into my cash value life insurance, which insures my principal, creates a leverage component, and then I use leverage on the leverage side to get wealthier, not to make myself poor. When I buy liabilities, it's either through a business or for tax write-offs. So the markets melting down right now are an absolute blessing. You get wealthy in the red, not in the green. Because remember, they're selling you the hype and we're buying the fear. So everybody's panicking right now because of the perception of what Jerome Powell might say at the Jackson Hole meeting this Friday. The looming energy if he's going to lower rates or not. If he doesn't lower rates, expect these markets to go lower. You're going to get better buying prices. Now, if he does start lowering rates, that's going to stimulate the hell out of the economy. But remember, when they print money in a low interest rate environment, it devalues your currency, your dollar. So yes, you're going to be able to refinance and have better buying power in regards to debt. But if you make $100,000 and you get a $30,000 loan for a car, you increased your purchasing power, but you didn't increase your income. You got to learn to take your income and transmute it into buying power by putting it into assets that appreciate higher than inflation. So you're going to see this. Everybody's coming for Americans' dollars dominance. That's why the Trump family positioned themselves in Bitcoin. That's why Larry Fink positioned himself in Bitcoin. That's why wealthy are running to this asset class right now. It's starting to decouple from the S&P. When the S&P came down with tariffs 30%, Bitcoin only went down 8%. And I think a lot of these cryptocurrencies, things like XRP, Bitcoin, things that have real utility will start to decouple and create their own legs in the future. So if you're price sensitive and you're trying to get rich quick, you're gonna get wrecked. Put on a long-term horizon, build an ecosystem. That's what I did. Build a game plan, feed the machine, pull profits when it's green, and dollar cost average when it's red, and get back to your life. and be present. Warriors, rise. Get your shit together. God bless you guys.